There are things in life that remain invisible, not because they are hidden, but because we are looking in the wrong direction. Since childhood, you were taught to trust your two eyes, to believe that whatever they show you is reality. But what if those eyes were never designed to reveal the truth? What if they only show you a surface? And the real world begins inside. Ancient Indian wisdom speaks of an eye that does not observe objects, but observes awareness itself. Not an organ, not imagination. A threshold. This inner threshold is known as the agna chakra. A door that opens inward. Between your eyebrows lies a point so subtle that most people pass their entire lives without ever noticing it. No temple marks it. No instrument can measure it. Yet, the sages said, this is where the human meets the infinite. They called it Trikuti, the meeting of three streams: thought, awareness, and silence. To the yogis, it was the third eye. To Tantra, it was a crossing point, where one reality ends and another begins. Not a symbol. A passage. Why ancient seers were not dreamers. The rishis were not fantasizing when they spoke of higher vision. They experimented, not on matter, but on consciousness. While modern science split atoms, they learned to split attention. They discovered that when awareness is withdrawn from the senses and stabilized at the ajna point, something extraordinary happens. Time loses its grip. The mind stops moving forward in a line, and begins to expand sideways. This is why stories speak of sages who could perceive events without being present. Not because they traveled, but because perception itself moved beyond location. Seeing without eyes. Consider this simple example. You remember your childhood home even now. You can walk through its rooms in your mind. Your eyes are closed, yet you see clearly. Now imagine that same ability, not limited to memory. What if awareness could access information beyond the present moment? The ajna chakra is said to be the center where perception detaches from the senses. The brain's hidden antenna. Modern neuroscience unknowingly walked into ancient territory. The pineal gland, once dismissed as inactive, is now known to respond to light, cycles, and subtle rhythms. The pituitary gland governs balance, intuition, and internal harmony. Together, they form a biological gateway. Exactly where the ajna chakra was described thousands of years ago. Tantric texts say that when this center awakens, consciousness begins to receive signals from multiple layers of reality. Like a radio finely tuned beyond static. Parallel streams of awareness. Right now, your mind is doing many things at once. But you are aware of only one. The ajna chakra is not about thinking more. It is about observing thought from above. From this vantage point, you begin to notice something strange. For every decision, there were other possibilities. For every choice, another path. The sages said that these paths don't disappear. They continue, silently. When the ajna awakens, awareness brushes against these parallel streams. Not as hallucination. As insight. Why Shiva has a third eye. Shiva's third eye does not burn the world. It burns illusion. It represents the moment when perception becomes so clear that false identities collapse instantly. In that single gaze, thousands of realities are seen, not sequentially, but simultaneously. This is not mythology. It is symbolic psychology at its highest level. The risk of awakening without balance. But every door opens both ways. The Ajna chakra grants clarity, but without humility, clarity becomes superiority. Many lose themselves here. They see a little, and believe they have seen everything. This is why ancient systems insisted, the heart must open before the third eye stabilizes. Knowledge without compassion does not liberate. It isolates. When silence becomes language, those who touch this center often notice a change. They speak less, listen more. Symbols begin to replace words. Silence begins to communicate. Yantras, mantras, and sacred forms stop being decorative. They start vibrating with meaning. This is why ancient sages spoke rarely. Not because they knew little, because they knew too much. Beginning the inner journey. Awakening the Ajna chakra is not dramatic. It is subtle. It begins with attention. Focused gazing, Tritaka, trains the mind to stay still. Early morning meditation aligns awareness with natural silence. Balanced breathing steadies inner currents. Regular silence clears mental noise. No force. No rush. The third eye opens inward. Only when the mind is ready to stop looking outward. What your two eyes show you is not reality. It is interpretation. The Ajna chakra reveals the source of that interpretation. And when awareness turns back upon itself, something irreversible happens. You no longer search for truth. You begin to recognize it. The door was never locked. It only required a different way of seeing. If these words stirred something within you, it is not coincidence. Tattav Darshan exists for seekers who feel that reality is deeper than what the eyes reveal. This channel is not about beliefs, rituals, or borrowed knowledge. It is a journey into ancient Indian wisdom, consciousness science, and inner exploration hidden in the Vedas, Upanishads, Tantra, and yogic traditions. Here, we don't give answers to memorize, we create experiences to be felt. Every video is an invitation to look beyond appearances and reconnect with the intelligence already living within you. If you are drawn to truth that is silent, deep, and transformative, then Tattav Darshan is not just a channel, it is a path.